Hi, good day. So today, everyone, today we're going to do May/June 2018. Let's read the question. 2018, paper 2, number 10. A transformation T is defined by the matrix 2 minus 1, 2, 0. A point A, right, minus 2, 3. So because we're dealing with matrices, we're going to turn it to a column vector matrix of 1 time minus 2, 3. Is mapped onto a point B, AB, under T. So find the values of A and B, right? So we know that to get object A, it underwent a transformation T to get image A, right? What is object A? Object A is minus 2, 3. What is the transformation? 2 minus 1, 2, 0 to get AB. However, we know that this here is a 2 by 1 and this is a 2 by 2. So because the number of columns and the number of rows are not equal, we cannot multiply A by T, okay? We have to say it is T A would give you image A. Okay, so it is going to be 2 minus 1, 2, 0 by A is minus 2 by 3 to give you image A, which would be A would be the top part and B would be the bottom part. Right, so I'm going to multiply its row by column and row by column. It's the first row, which is 2 minus 1 by minus 2, 3. And the second part is 2, 0 multiplied by minus 2, 3. Right, so it's 2 multiplied by negative 2 plus minus 1 multiplied by 3. So that's 2 by 2 is 4 and a minus, a plus a minus is minus 4 minus 3 is equals to minus 7. And this one would be 2 multiplied by minus 2 plus 0 multiplied by 3, which is equals to negative 4. So we know that the top part here is A because this one is E11 and this is E21, right? E11 is the value. This is the position of this one. This is A11 and B is B21. So A is equals to minus 7 while B is equals to minus 4. And that is how you would do this question. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do part 2. It means to determine the transformation of the matrix that maps object A, no, image A, that's A with the little asterisk is image A to A. So we know when we had to go from A to image A, right, this was A multiplied by a transformation, which was T is equals to A1. But we are now going in the opposite direction, so we're going to go A1 undergoing a transformation of A. So it will not be, so we want, it will has to be, we want to make A the subject here, right? So what is A equal to? A would be equal to the inverse, not the inverse, A object A, sorry, image A, and when you carry across T over the equal sign, I'll turn to divide by T. But because we are dealing with matrices, there's no such thing as divide by matrices, right? So we have to figure out a way to make this in such a way that we can solve it using matrices. So the image A over T is the same thing as saying the image A over 1 multiplied by 1 over T. And using our laws of indices, 1 over T is the same thing as saying T to the negative 1 or T inverse. So A, or yes, the object A would be your image A multiplied by your inverse of T to give you, right, so A, your object A would be your image A multiplied by T inverse. Now, we have to find T inverse. Now, to find T inverse, it's simply a formula that you have to remember. And this one, please remember, it's 1 over AD minus BC multiplied by DA minus B and minus C. Hold on, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Minus C. Right? What this is 1 over AD minus BC is your determinant of T multiplied by your adjoint of T. Now, T is equal to, what is the transformation equal to? The transformation is equal to 2 minus 1. Let me write this down. 2 minus 1, 2, 0. Right? And this is the form it is in. The first one is A, B, C, D. That's how you label it all the time. So we're going to put it in the formula. Right? I'm going to put it down here. T inverse would be 1 over, what is A? 2 multiplied by 0 minus 1 multiplied by 2. Right? Which would give you 1 over 0 minus negative 2. A minus, a plus. So this is 1 over 2 now. Right? And then we're going to switch the positions of D and A. So it's going to be 0 on top, 2 at the bottom, and minus 1 is B. B is minus 1. And minus, what is C? 2. All right, let me just put that 2 a little bit away. All right, so it's a half of 0, a minus, a plus. It's plus 1. A half by minus 2, and then 2 here. That's what this is going to turn to. And then this is known as our scalar matrices. You multiply a half by each term. So it's going to be equal to a half multiplied by 0, a half multiplied by 1, a half multiplied by minus 2, a half multiplied by 2. Right, which is 0, a half, minus 1, 1. And that would be the transformation it undergoes to go from image A to object A. Patry says another transformation P is defined by the matrix P is equal to 0, 1, 1, minus 2. Find the single 2 by 2 matrix that represents a combination of T followed by P. Right? So we want it's T followed by P, right? If it is T followed by P, to get that matrix, it will be P multiplied by T. That's what you need to remember, right? One as one transformation followed by the next. There's not that transformation multiplied by the next transformation. You're going backwards while multiplying, right? It will be your last transformation multiplied by your first transformation. So we know that P is equal to 0, 1, 1 minus 2. And we know that T is equal to 2 minus 1, 2, 0. So it's simply going to multiply this, right? So PT is equal to 0, 1, 1 minus 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1, 2, 0, right? This is a 2 by 2 matrix multiplied by 2 by 2 matrix. These two are equal, so you know that they can multiply. Your resultant matrix would be 2 rows by 2 columns, so it will be E1, 1, E1, 2, E2, 1, and E2, 2. All right? If you're not accustomed with doing multiplication, then you'll have to do it like this, right? So it is the first one is the first row by a first column. So it's 0 multiplied by 2 plus 1 multiplied by 2. That's E11. Then E12 is your first row by your second column. So it's 0 multiplied by minus 1 plus 1 multiplied by 0. Then E21 is your second row by your first column. So it's 1 multiplied by 2 plus minus 2 multiplied by 2. And then E22 is the second row by a second column. So that would be 1 multiplied by negative 1 plus minus 2 multiplied by 0. Right? So this would be equal to 0 by 2 is 0 plus 2, and then 0 plus 0, and then 1 by 2 is 2, and minus 2 by positive 1 is minus 4, and this would be minus 1 plus 0. All right, so this is 2, 0, minus 2, minus 1. So this would be the single transformation, right? And that is how you do this question. Then they ask, hence find the image of point 1,4 undergoing the transformation. So we undergoing that transformation from above there, right? So let's say I is your image, right? Hence find the image of the point. So it's object undergoing a transformation that we have on top to give you the image. We know there's matrices we're dealing with, so this is, we'll put it as a column matrix, 1 on top, 4 the bottom. So it's 1, 4 undergoing the transformation of 2, 0, minus 2, minus 1 to give you some image, this image here. We don't know what it is. I'll call it x, y because we want the coordinates, right? Now, usually, we have to, first of all, we cannot, to get that image, it is your transformation multiplied by your object. If we look at, we can't just multiply this, right? This is a 2 rows by 1 column, and this is 2 by 2. These two are not equal to the same, so because they're not the same, right, we say, okay, let's switch it up. It would be T by your object would give you your image. Okay, so this would be T is 2, 0, minus 2, minus 1 by your object of 1, 4 to give you whatever your image is, right? So it is equals to xy. Right, so we are now going to multiply. This is E11 and this is E21. It's 2 rows by 1 column. So E11 would be 2. E11 would be your first row by your first column. So it's 2 multiplied by 1 plus 0 multiplied by 4, right? Which is equals to 2. That's 2 plus 0. And E21 would be minus 2 multiplied by 1 plus minus 1 multiplied by 4. That is minus 2 minus 4, well, minus 2 plus minus 4, which is equals to minus 6. So my coordinates would be 2 on top and minus 6 at the bottom, right? And that is how I would get this answer here. Right, so if we have to turn it back to, we don't want it like this, we have to turn it back to a coordinate. The first one is 2 and the second one is minus 6. Right, this would be the coordinates of your image right here. Okay, now we're going into the vectors part of this question. The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is just a four-sided shape, A, B, C, D, in which AB is M, DC is 3M, AD is N, right? Now, first off, if you look at these little lines here, that is telling you that line AB is parallel to BC. And remember, we said that if lines are parallel in when lines are parallel, right, we say that the vector is a scalar vector of another vector. So if you look at m multiplied by what would give you 3m? You can clearly see it's multiplied by 3. So we know that DC is a scalar vector of am. Right? So they said, complete the statement below on the geometric properties of the following vector. AB and DC, I just now said it, are parallel. Parallel, and I actually did this. And AB is something times CD. AB, so AB is M is equal to, this is what they're asking you, right? Let's go to the question so you can see it. So AD and DC are parallel to each other, which means they are scalar multiples of each other, right? So either you put parallel or scalar multiples. And we're talking about AD is something times CD. So what is AD? AB is M is equal to something multiplied by 3M. So if we M, how would you get 3M multiplied by what would give you M? So if you know, it would be a third. Right? So AB is a third times CD. And that would be it. Right? Then the next question is, express BC in terms of M and N. BC. So we want the starting point is B and the ending point is C. So there are two ways you can do this. You can use your image here. We're going from B to A to D, and D to C. Right? Just simply add it up. Or we're going to do this. Right? So we know that BC, your starting point is B, so it's BA plus AC. This is what they give you, right, in the question. If you look at what they gave you in the question, they gave you AB and they give you AD, right? So right now, what is BA? We know what is AB. If AB is equal to M, let's go in this direction. We're going in the opposite direction. So BA is the opposite direction. You simply multiply this M by -1. So we know it's minus M. So it's minus M plus AC. We don't know what AC is, so we have to calculate or solve what is AC. Right? If you look at this, AC would be AD plus BC. You're looking at this, right? So you're starting from A, would be AD plus DC. Right, so AC is equal to CD plus D. Sorry, A is AC. AC would be AD plus DC. Right, do we know what AD is? If we look at this, what is AD? AD is N and DC is 3M. So this would be AD is N plus 3M. So now we could say BC is equal to minus M plus N plus 3M, right? Which is equal to, we group like terms, that's N plus 3M minus M, right? So that's N plus 2M. N plus 2M. And that is what BC would be equal to. Or if you want, you could have done it on the question here. You could have said, okay, this is a quadrilateral. We're going from BA plus AD plus DC, right? So my starting point is A, my ending point is C. What is AB? AB is going in the opposite direction. So instead of M, it's going to be negative M. What is AD? It is going in the same direction as plus N, and DC is 3M, which is what we had there. So you could have used the image to solve that question instead of doing it like this. Right? You could have used the image. We're starting from B, so it's B to A is negative M. So if we're going in this direction, right, that is negative M, and then we're going in the same direction as the image, so that is M, and then we're going in this direction, which is the same direction as DC, which is 3M. So you just combine all of these and you would have gotten what is BC. L is the midpoint of CD. Find BL in terms of MN. So they said that L is the midpoint of CD. Where is CD? CD is here. So L, you see they wrote L. L is in the middle of there. So we want to find out what this would be equal to. So let me just erase this. But to use over the image, right? So if L is your midpoint means it is half. Not so? So DL, right, would be half of 3M, right? So this is 3M over 2. So if I want to say I want AL, I'm going to, sorry, BL, right? So I'm starting at B and ending at L. It's going to be BA, which is M, negative M. Then we're going down here, AD, which is N, and then DL, because it is the halfway, it's a half 3M or 3M over 2. So you simply are going to say, let's write it down. It would be BL is equals to BA plus A, what's the name? Is AD? Yes, plus AD plus DL. We know that DL is equals to half of that whole line DC. They told you it's the midpoint, right? CD. So that is equals to half, and DC is 3M. So that is how we have a half 3M. A half 3M over 2, right? That is 3M over 2. So this is the direction, right? We know that BA is the opposite of AD. So AB was M, so BA would be negative M. So negative M plus AD is N. ADN? Yeah, AD is N. And then DL would be plus 3M over 2. Right? So it would be N plus 3M, or 3 over 2M minus M. Right? So that's N plus 3 over 2 minus 1 is actually equal. So that is 1.5 M minus 1M is equals to N plus a half M. So BL would be N plus a half M. So all you have to make sure is the signs that is closest to my plus must be the same. That is the major thing. And you have to make sure you start with your starting point and you end with your ending point. right? So you can use your image to have helped you. You didn't really need to put this. You could have said you use the image, and you would have gotten the answer, right? And that is how to do May June 2018.